Hey, you wonderful people doing out there. As you can see up here at the cabin, it's snowing. I had a discussion with a gentleman yesterday, a black gentleman, older gentleman, very intelligent man, I must say. And we were talking about racism, and he came up with this whole thing where they have this new definition that black people can't be racist. And like I said, we had this discussion before, and I explained to him, hey, I was a military sergeant, and I could have, been racist towards anybody. He says, well, you can't be racist because black people don't have power. And he says, yesterday, I knew you were going to say that. He says, well, you don't have any power. You have to have power to affect health care and taxation and things like that to be racist. So I simply said to him, so Dylann Roof was not a racist? I mean, he was a young white man who walked into a black church and killed black people for no apparent reason besides they were not the same race. So if the definition that you need power to be racist is true, then Dylann Roof would not be a racist. I have to disagree with that. See, the only thing that you need to be a racist is to have hate in your heart and dislike for someone simply because they're not the same as you, or their race is not the same as you, something that you don't identify with. And most of the time, that stems from fear. I think what he means to say, the only thing you need power for is oppression. Now, to be an oppressor, you need power. You don't need power to be racist. To be an oppressor, you need power. And the majority of the people in this country are oppressed. And it's not about color or religion or your sexual orientation. You are oppressed. And those oppressors are not a particular race. There are many races. They're sitting right in your government. As you can see, that an oppressor uses this power to do what he's pleased. As you can see, we have every day we wake up and there's a different Democrat or Republican or some other public figure being accused of sexual harassment towards a female or even towards someone of the same sex. That's an oppressor. You need power to be an oppressor. You do not need power to be a racist. All you have to do is be a hateful, ugly person that is not willing to understand someone who is not the same race as you. Now, like I said, the majority of us are not racist. We may not like the same things, we might not like the same food, but the majority of us in this country are oppressed. And we're not only being oppressed by a federal government. See, people don't understand. Like I was talking to my man Eddie. The federal government can do minimal to oppress you. It's your local and state government that oppresses you. We need to have normal, patriotic American people run for public office locally and publicly. When it comes down to unarmed black man or white man being shot and the officers not being convicted, that is state and local oppression. It has nothing to do with your federal government. So that's what we need to take over. We need to look at those things and come together and realize that the majority of us Americans are all on the same page. We just have a few oppressors in office, local, state, and federal, that oppress us. And they oppress us by convincing that it's somebody else's fault. They'll separate you by race, they'll separate you by religion, or they'll set you by economic status. But you're still being oppressed. So let's get it straight here. If you hate somebody simply because of their race, you're a racist. And it doesn't take power or money. And when you say that black people don't have enough power to be racist, I have to disagree with that. We all need to come together, get on the same page, get these wannabes out of office, and give this country back to the people so nobody's oppressed. I'm Dan Alexander, American First.